многоводный, могучий, свободный, встаешь ты в граните обрывистых скал.
Baikal is everything. It's everything.
For the last 80 years, there's no place in the world that Lyubov Morekhodova would rather be than on Lake Baikal in southern Siberia. The sprightly senior lives on the western shore of the world's largest freshwater lake. And skating is her passion.
My skates date from 1943 and I'm still using them. Everyone tells me you should slow down, but I just can't.
Lyubov Morekhodova ought to be able to take it easy. She's been retired for over 20 years and since the death of her husband, lives alone. Well, almost alone.
Stop it, you.
Baba Lyuba, as she's fondly called, looks after 4 dogs, 5 cows, 2 calves, and 4 chickens. But whenever she's not caring for her brood, she takes to the ice. When she straps the steel blades she's used for decades onto a pair of old wool felt boots, she's just as nimble as ever. Instead of using a bicycle or a car, Baba Lyuba performs her errands on skates. She checks in on her cows or does a little shopping in the neighboring village. It's a half-hour journey each way, and she does it most every day.
For me, ice means being able to go anywhere and everywhere.
Vast, mysterious, and with a hint of melancholy, romantics see Lake Baikal as a reflection of the Russian soul. But for Lyubov Morekhodova, it's a source of hope and confidence. Her last name, Morekhodova, means something like the seaman's wife in Russian. The word Mori means sea. The locals respectfully call Lake Baikal the Baikal Sea.
I like to sing songs about its wind, Bargutsin. Like, hey, Bargutsin, move the waves so the young lad doesn't have to swim so far.
The octogenarian believes skating on Lake Baikal is the secret to her longevity. The world's deepest lake is her deity. She has more faith in its powers than in the miracles of Jesus, whose birth is currently being celebrated around the globe. In Russia, too.
И мы поздравляем вас с этим большим светлым праздником. И по этому торжественному поводу наш кондитер поделится своим любимым рецептом рождественского кекса.
It's all nonsense.
What is?
The church and everything around it. These popes dressed in gold and silver. That's not for me. I don't want that.
Still, in a village some 60 kilometers away, the Russian Orthodox Church is experiencing a resurrection, following decades of oppression during the Soviet era. According to recent polls, 65% of Russians count themselves as belonging to the Orthodox Church, but not Baba Lyuba. The church is growing in importance as a social institution in Russia, and bringing with it a more conservative philosophy of life. But Baba Lyuba is not a believer. Lord have mercy upon us is one of the central themes in the liturgy. It's repeated dozens of times. Church services can last for several hours, especially at Christmas.
If you think about it logically, you won't find anything up above. No soul that flies to heaven. Nothing. When you die, you'll be eaten by worms.
Which means?
It means that everyone should live in harmony with their own conscience and do no harm to others. Then all will be well. All will be well.
Being conscientious and respecting others is something Lyubov Morekhodova says she also taught her children. However, they rarely come here. Christmas is clearly not an occasion that they believe merits a visit.
I have a son, a daughter, and 5 grandchildren. They live in the city.
By the city, she means Irkutsk, almost 300 kilometers away. It's a 5-hour drive from Baba Lyuba's house. But she's accustomed to traveling long distances. She's been doing it since she was a child.
From 1st grade on, I went 4 kilometers to school and 4 kilometers back on my skates. Many times I almost drowned. Once there were 3 of us on our way home. Suddenly, a crack appeared in the ice. I wanted to know where it came from. I dug deep into it with my skate blade, and suddenly I fell into the water. In January, I could just raise my arm enough for the girls to pull me out. Nadka said, "Lyuba, let's walk along the shore or you'll freeze to death." The wind was so cold, but it was warmer in the woods. So I went home like that, frozen cold. At home, my mother asked, "Where were you? All the other kids were home long ago." And I said, "I was with Nadka."
It takes a bit of searching to find Lyubov Morekhodova's house. There are no signs or markers, just a narrow, nameless country lane leads there. The nearest settlement is called Yelansi. It lies 60 kilometers away from Baba Lyuba's house. The village has just under 4,000 residents. Half are Russian. The other half are Buryats, indigenous people of Mongolian origin. This area of eastern Siberia is one of the most economically disadvantaged in Russia. While the national unemployment rate lies slightly above 5%, it's more than double that in many places here. But Baba Lyuba isn't complaining. She's had a long working life in the Soviet Union. For half a century, she worked at a factory in Irkutsk as a press operator, a welder, a wood turner, and later as a plant maintenance engineer.
Look, stones.
The water of Lake Baikal is thought to be so clean that people use it for drinking water. The daily trek to the watering hole in the ice is both a necessity and a ritual.
I don't have time to get bored. There's always something to do. Still, I'm not in such great shape anymore. My back hurts due to the heavy lifting. Hauling water is hard, and removing slurry is too.
But the nearest doctor is 60 kilometers away, and it would take the ambulance over an hour to reach Baba Lyuba should she require urgent medical attention.
Hey, you dirty rascals. Wait. Matilda, come here, my sweet.
It's lunchtime at Lake Baikal.
There'll be grub to eat soon. Where were you yesterday, you freeloader?
The freeloader shows up when there's food to be had. Her buddy, too. Siberian winters are cold and long. Sometimes they last a full 6 months, with temperatures that can plunge to minus 40 degrees Celsius. So the people who live here are tough and modest. In this sense, Baba Lyuba is a true Siberian.
Some folks are never content. They think everything's bad. One needs lots of money, the other a palace. 4 walls and a roof over your head, that's all a person needs. We're all going to die, one way or another. Whether in a palace or elsewhere.
But Lyubov Morekhodova is still alive and well, and she says she will be for as long as she can skate on her Lake Baikal.